making sure this camera is on. Hi you guys, it's Mimi and welcome back to Mimi's World, and I'm here to sparkle up your day. And today for you guys, I'm going to give you guys a little review, or if you haven't seen this movie, a spoiler for some people if you're watching my channel. It's for the movie on Netflix called Moxie. Okay, so Moxie is a Netflix original that came out in 2021 in March. So I heard of it, but I haven't really watched it because, you know, there's so many movies and shows that's popping up on Hulu, Netflix. There's so many shows and movies to catch up on. I mean, me and my boyfriend are still trying to catch up on this show on Hulu. So we're just, like, it's a lot. But I took some time and I said, well, I'm here by myself and relaxing, I might as well find something new to watch. So I said, I'm going to get a chance to watch Moxie. Let me tell you guys something. This show really made my blood pressure go up. And not only that, I cried twice in certain, like, in these two scenes. And it really had my heart, like, for a minute. So I have my other, like device right here because I only watched the movie yesterday. So I still try to remember certain characters' names and stuff like that. So I have the names, the cast pulled up right here. But Vivian, which was the nerdy girl who started Moxie, if anybody doesn't know, or if you already know. And then Claudia, which was her best friend. She was also Chinese. And it started off like any other teenage little drama movie. I love me some teenage drama. Don't matter if it's a TV show or what. I just love teenage drama, the romance or what's going on, because there's so much stuff within high school. Because certain stuff that I watch in these teen dramas is certain things I went through when I was in high school. And sometimes parents, they don't know anything about your, your childhood. They don't know what's going on, but they probably lived their life too. But they don't know what's really going on with you. Sometimes it may be more hardcore than what your parents went through when they was in high school. So basically, this movie was about sexism and how the girls in the high school felt betrayed by both teachers and the male students about their feminism, saying how they dress, how they're supposed to act, or things like that, or how they're saying that men are better than women. That's basically what this movie is about. So the movie started off with how Claudia and Vivian, the little nerdy best friends, trying to go to college together. And I said, oh, that's sweet. But knowing how it is, if they may be those nerdy types that stay to themselves, which was correct. They stayed to themselves. They don't want no trouble. They just want to get out of high school and, just no drama, nothing at all. Until this new girl, I think she was half black, half Hispanic, or full Hispanic. I don't know which one, but she spoke Spanish throughout the movie. Her name was Lucy. And Lucy, she's a badass. I love her. Lucy came into school, and she looked like the rebellious type. Like, she'll be ready to whoop some ass, like, she just came in ready. And in the beginning of the movie, she came in, she sat down in the front of the class. And I remember in the beginning, Claudia and Vivian, they just started their junior year, and Claudia was trying to let Vivian know, like, hey, since you have such and such, did you know that if you sit in the front row, he always calls on the people in the front row to answer questions? And she said, oh, thank you, I don't got time for all that. So she sat in the second or third seat in the rows, and Lucy sat in the front. So since Lucy sat in the front, the teacher called on her. When they was talking, they was in English language arts, and they was talking about a certain type of book that was written by a rich white man. And what made it worse, the book was legit about a rich white man. And y'all know how some teenage dramas are, where they have that one, teenage boy who's a dick. And I think, what was that boy's name? Mitchell, in the movie. And he was the quarterback of the football team. Him and his best friend, the little black guy, forgot his name, but Mitchell was the most, I guess the first male lead character, because he was mostly the dick in the movie that basically started off this whole Moxie drama. It was mostly because of Mitchell, basically, that what started this whole drama. He was very sexist, he was very mean, rude. He didn't give a care what he did. He just thought he could get away with it because he was the quarterback. And you know how they say nowadays with school, if they look at the teams as if they only care about the schools appearance when it comes to sports or academics. And if they're the best person academically or sport wise, they try not to get them in trouble and try not to do so much paperwork. That's basically what was going on, because the principal, she had a reward in her office when Lucy went to tell the teacher, because when Lucy went into class, she spoke out saying, why we got to read this book? There's nothing about a black man or Hispanic person or nothing like that. Well, why are we not learning any of these stuff? Mitchell, on the other hand, got mad and said something stupid in class that offended her in a certain type of way, saying, be quiet, just learn what you gotta learn, trying to shut her down. So she spoke her mind. So by the time she went to the cafeteria, she went to the vending machine to get a drink. Mitchell came to the vending machine saying, I think we got off on the wrong foot. Lucy said, I didn't tell you to touch me, because he put his hand on her shoulder. He said, why you being like that? She said, I'm not making a big deal out of it. I'm just telling you not to touch me. And he got mad and punched the vending machine, and her soda came out. She said, hey, that's mine. He said, oh, really? He took the damn can, and this what pissed me off, y'all. He took the damn can, opened it in front of her, and then he spit in it. Like, he legit got in the back of his throat and spit in the soda and said, welcome to this high school or whatever. I forgot the name of the school that quick. But Vivian saw it from across the cafeteria, and she went to Lucy, and this is the scene that got me so bad, because it was me in high school. I was that girl that tried to keep my head down, but after I got in junior to senior year, I just said, screw it. I'm trying to get out of high school, but I'm still not going to leave out of here, and not say anything. But sometimes, when you're in a black, I was in mostly like a most black school, people will fight over any little thing. Just nowadays, you can just stare at people, or you can just say one little thing. They don't like it. They just want to get up and fight you. And I didn't have time for that. I don't want no record. I just want to go get my diploma and get out of here. Vivian went up the stairs and told Lucy, hey, don't worry about, Mitchell, he's a dick and all, just keep your head down. As soon as she said that, I was like, are you serious? Do you not hear the words that's coming out your mouth? Even though I used to keep my head down in school, I would never tell nobody else to keep their head down. If you're somebody, and if I see you actually fighting for yourself, I actually would be admired by you, because for one, you're not going to let nobody put they, walk all over you and crap. So Vivian went up the stairs, and she was trying to be nice. She said, hey, don't worry about him. He's just a jerk or whatever, but it's best if you just keep your head down and leave him alone. Then Lucy said, thanks for the advice, but I think I'm going to keep my head up, and everything. And when that scene happened, I said, oh my God, I like this, because basically the movie starts off that's how it was. The kids that always behaved and, that they don't want no trouble, they always had their head down. But the kids who, that they don't play that crap, they have their head up. But they always end up in some stupid crap. Not Lucy, though. But Lucy wasn't scared for none of that crap. And next thing you know, if you guys watch that Disney Channel show, what's that Disney Channel show called? Jessie. If you remember the little boy who used to play around with Zuri with the glasses, he had a sex change. If nobody knew, his dang it, where is his name? Okay, here he is, Josie Tota. I think that's the name now. I think that's the new name now since he had the sex change, or unless that was the name from before. I don't know. I don't remember. But the little boy from Jessie, who was a smart little boy who had a crush on Zuri and everything like that. When he was little, he had a sex change, and I admire that, because I'm LGBTQ, whatever, I'm bi, he's, I admire him. And then the fact how he's still acting, but he's playing female roles, and he is so good at it. I love it. I admire, film and productions, how they're letting him, and letting anybody at that fact who are transgender play the roles of the gender that they're as right now. Like, I can be a man, I can transform myself into a man right now, and I just want a male role, and they give it to me. And let me say, he is a good actor still today. But he's also in Moxie. Well, she's also in Moxie, and playing a character of a boy who had a sex change. The character in the show was CJ. But that's another thing about the movie. Another thing about the movie, how if you was in high school, how some kids back then, or if they still doing it now today, they say the person with the best ass, the person with the best lips, or the best kisser, or the most petty one, the most this, that, or somebody, basically saying who's the most at this or the best at that. They had a whole list that gets sent every week or every month or every semester to every student's social media accounts, and it shows them on Snapchat or Facebook, Instagram, whichever one it was, and it says who's the most kissable, who's the most bangable, who's the most prettiest, the most ugliest, the best at volleyball, the best breast, ass, like stuff like that. And in the movie, it had the Lucy as the most cunt or something like that, but it just said a C word. I was thinking cunt. And she went to the principal and showed the principal the proof that somebody is bullying these students. And the principal still didn't do shit. I couldn't stand the principal. The principal didn't do shit until the end of the movie when all the girls and all the people in the school stood up for themselves against the bullies. So, after Lucy walked out of the school showing the principal what happened, not only that, the girl with blonde hair, which was, well, I don't know why I'm saying blonde hair, I can just say her name, Vivian. She went home and asked her mom, when I was a little girl, you used to sing this song to me called Rebel Girl about keeping my head up and stuff. And the mom said, yeah, because I want you to keep your head up. I'm proud of you. You going to school, but I don't want you to have your head down your whole life. I want you to have your head up. Think positive. And I love the girl's mama. I love Vivian's mama. She, she's still, she's a little strict, but she's not too strict because Vivian, she follows the rules anyway. She always does good in school, and she be trying to get Vivian, to act like a regular teenager, like get a boyfriend, go out. Like, that's all she wanted. So the fact how Vivian is going back to her old ways when she was little, her dad must have died or something, and he left her a rebel jacket, like bikers and stuff, a little rebel leather jacket. And she said she was tired of how the kids in the school were getting bullied. She didn't like how certain females were getting said they had this type of breasts or whatever. And next thing you know, this is when Vivian said she had enough. She went in the classroom. The principal came in the classroom and told one of the girls in the classroom to go to the office because she had on a tank top, right? But the student got mad and said, what about such and such next to me? She's wearing a tank top as well. And she said, yeah, but she's not showing too much collarbone. Like the principal was trying not to say cleavage or whatever. And it made the other girl feel bad because she, she barely had any, breasts. And the other girl had big, all that. She had a whole lot of cleavage. So she told the girl to go home because she didn't have nothing to change in. So Vivian had enough, and she secretly became Moxie, which was a comic book or a little book that she made talking about the boys or the football players, because the football players are the ones who made that little list where you're the most beautiful, the most bangable, the best kisser, stuff like that. And then, they put down a whole bunch of funny shit like Mitchell was the worst piece of shit. And when she made the book, she made a whole bunch of copies at this shop. And she went to the girls' bathroom and she put stacks of them in each female's bathroom, and then she did it early in the morning so nobody would know that she did it. She's trying to stay undercover as Moxie. And what happened was all the girls went in the bathroom and they picked it up. She put it on the mirror, she put it on the stall, she put it everywhere in the girls' bathroom only. So she went and did that. All the girls read it, and in one page of the book it said, if you stand up for yourself and if you do not like what's going on with the feminism, come tomorrow to school with a picture of a star and a picture of a heart on your hand. It didn't matter which hand, they just wanted on your hand in general. And at first she came to the school. She thought nobody did it because by the time she came to school, she did not see most of the girls. None of the girls in school had it except for like 7 girls that came in the bathroom. It was 2 black girls. One was, I think it was Korea or Kiara. I think that's how you say her name. Hold on. Yeah, it was Kiara and Amaya. But, yeah, Amaya, Kiara, then it was CJ that came in there, which was the transgender, and it was somebody else. Oh, Caitlin, there we go. And then somebody at the school had a party. hold on, my phone fell. Somebody at the school had a party, and then they invited everybody at the school. And next thing you know, all the girls who were with Moxie that had the star and the heart on their hand, they meeted up in the big bedroom upstairs in the office. I think it was one of the party planners' parents' study hall, you know, the little office. And they said, all right, which one of you is Moxie? We're the only girls in the school with the star, which means that one of us has to be Moxie. But they felt like maybe it wasn't nobody, but Vivian tried to not to say nothing. She just said, I think, you know, Moxie's cool. She's speaking up for the females. And the girls was taking us saying, you know, this is wrong that we're getting feminized. The girl was talking about how she had to wear a tank top, and the girl who was voted most the best ass was Kiara. And what made Kiara mad about it is that she didn't like how black females were known for the biggest breast and the biggest, you know, booty or whatever. That's why it was like that, because there is rarely that many black girls in the school, and she was voted, you know, best ass. And it was very, you know, it was not cool at all. Claudia didn't want no part of it because she felt like she didn't want to make a big deal out of it, and she was trying to figure out why Vivian was all of a sudden. And she said, I wanted to fight back. All my life I had my head down. Why aren't you trying to stand up? And Claudia wanted to stand up. It was just her mom. It was just her mom, because her mom is, you know, her mom's Chinese, and it's not, you know, racist or stereotypical. It's just that any culture in general, not even just, you know, Chinese, any Asian culture, any African culture, any Hispanic, Latin culture, anybody, you know, they're just strict. Some parents in America, they don't really care like that, but you know, in certain cultures, they're very strict on their kids because they want them to be successful and not get into no drama. They just want them to, you know, get successful, get a good job, you know, do what you got to do. Don't worry about none of that. So the whole Moxie deal got so powerful to the point where Vivian kept making more and more comics every day, and then all the girls in the school started to stand up for themselves. And next thing you know, in order for the, Vivian and the girls to see if the other girls were participating, let me see. Yeah, the only way for them to see if the other girls were participating is if they followed the rules on supporting, which means that every time Vivian had a book or a little paper out, she will always say, wear this, do this, wear this, do this tomorrow, the next week, or whatever, so I can see if you're really supporting me, or the girls everywhere in the school. So the girl who got sent home for her tank top, she got so angry, she saw that Moxie made the thing where it says on Wednesday, all females wear tank tops. And there was this boy, I think his name was Seth, he was Asian, and he also wanted to stand up for the feminism side, but he also wanted to stand it up to the boys, because he believes that some boys get mistreated too in sexist wise towards, you know, certain females, or they just want to stand up in general to the bullies, how they say you can't do this unless you look like this, you can't do that unless you're good at this. They're trying to stand up for all the genders, but it was mostly for females in the movie, how girls had to stand up for all the feminists, you know, and everything. Bro, it got so out of hand. This is the scene that made me cry my eyes out. So the whole Moxie deal got out of hand, right? Claudia and Vivian, which was the best friends from the beginning of the movie, the two friends, Claudia got so upset because she knows how strict her mom is, and she got so jealous because Vivian was hanging out with those group of girls when they was making Moxie, and she's saying, you know, I lost a friend, and she's saying they all are friends, but the reason they got together was Moxie. But Vivian was trying to tell her that her and Claudia had a special bond because they've been best friends since they were like 3 years old, and they were friends before the Moxie thing. The reason that Vivian and the girls became friends was because of Moxie and, you know, fighting back for the feminisms. And then after a while, after they all hung out, Claudia started hanging out with them, and they all got close. So they all got to the point where Claudia actually said, screw her mom, screw the school, I'm fighting for Moxie. So the girls fought back by making Kiara, which was the girl that was voted for best ass. She was on the track team and the basketball team for, you know, multiple reasons, and she got nominated by the girls in Moxie to be the #1 athlete of the school, because Mitchell, which was the quarterback, the dick, he was always running for it. But since it's a junior year, the person that was sponsoring them was going to give them a scholarship, you know, to pay for their first year of college, enough to pay for 1 or 2 years of their college. It was an athletic scholarship. And Mitchell was always, not running with nobody. So next thing you know, Moxie stood up and said, we want Kiera to run, because the show proved to see if the females would win. Next thing you know, Kiera didn't win. Mitchell, the behind, did. Because I bet you the principal didn't like that crap. She didn't like how the girls stood up for them at the game. She didn't like how it was that they were standing up for themselves. And it got so out of hand that the girls started, vandalizing the school, saying that it's not fair, it's not fair, it's not fair. And Vivian felt like she was failing as Moxie because it was getting worse. Like, Kiera didn't win. She lost her best friend. And she was seeing a guy, I think it was Seth. And her and Seth got along because she was going to the school one day, putting the Moxie things up there. Seth happened to be at school early. She bumped into Seth, and Seth found out she was Moxie, and he got mad, saying, how can you say you're trying to do this, but you can't even stand up and let the whole world know that you're Moxie? And her boyfriend, left her, because he said, if you're not strong enough to say that you're a Moxie, how can I know if you're going to tell me the truth? How am I supposed to know if you're not confident enough to be with me, confident enough to do this or that? And she lost her boyfriend, her best friend, and she felt like she failed in the Moxie club because Kiera didn't make the whole little best athlete thing, because, and she tried not to give up. Next thing you know, by the time she went to the bathroom around the end of the movie, she felt like she was going to give up, because the night before she went to school, she got drunk after Kiera lost. She got so drunk and tired, she felt like she lost everything. Next thing you know, that next morning, a girl, somebody anonymous, she didn't know who, but somebody anonymous had left a letter for Moxie in the bathroom saying that they were raped. And she didn't know who it was. All she knows that person was in the school, and she said she couldn't do it no more. And she said she was raped by one of the boys at the school who was on a football team. And the first thing that came to my mind was probably Mitchell. Mitchell probably did something to a girl, or, one of that little black guy that he was hanging out with, he probably did something with a female too, you don't know. But it made Vivian so pissed the hell off that she just went crazy. She just went straight crazy. She went and vandalized the whole school. She went back home and she called all the girls in the school. She went back and made another Moxie paper, and she told the girls in school that they are going to walk out. The teacher happens to, not the teacher, but the principal, happens to find out about the whole thing with Moxie, and said on the intercom that if you walk out, that means you will be expelled, because if you're working with Moxie, that means you're the ones who vandalized the school, you're the ones who did this, who did that, because some of the people from Moxie started going overboard and vandalizing the school and doing stuff. But I think it was just Vivian that did it, because she got so angry because Kiera didn't win that best athlete thing, and she went crazy doing stupid things that she never usually do. Then she felt like, screw this. My best friend and my boyfriend said that I'm not confident. Then my best friend thinks I left her for other girls, but they became best friends around. But what made it worse, Claudia got suspended because of the vandalism that Vivian did, because she was trying to do it to take up for her, because she knows she don't want nobody to find out she's Moxie. So she just said, I did it for Moxie. Claudia did it for Moxie. Next thing you know, Vivian got even more pissed, and when the girl left that rape letter, she went back home the next day, made those Moxie letters, and told those girls to walk out of the school, and the principal threatened them, saying if you walk out, you get expelled, yada yada. Then they didn't give a damn no more. So she had on her rebel jacket, and I said to myself, she never wears that. She always wears the little nerdy sweaters and stuff, and I said, okay, shit finna go down. And she looks pissed looking at Mitchell. The principal said on the intercom again, you'll get expelled, and the teacher said, this is for all the females, you can walk out the classroom, but it's on you. And he opened his hands, in which what made my heart pump up so much. The teacher was actually working with the girls. He was actually working with the girls. Even though through the movie he was being a dick, through the movie he was being so, such a dick that he didn't give a crap about none of the students, none of their feelings until the Moxie thing happened. And he had a picture of the heart and the star on his hands. And all the girls walked out to school and they got up on the stand and told them that we're here doing this for Moxie. Vivian finally stood up for herself and told the whole school, with the principal sitting right there. She said, "I'm Moxie. Suspend me, expel me, I don't care." Then all the girls stood up for her saying, "Well, guess what? I made the Moxie Instagram, so you should expel me too. I did this, so you should expel me too. I did this, I did that." All the girls, all the kids in school, they stood up for one another. Then all the kids started getting up one at a time on top of the stand saying, "I'm black, I'm proud," or "I'm doing this and I'm proud. I don't care about what people say about me because I'm proud." And then the anonymous person stood up, the one that left the rape letter. She stood up and said, "I'm the one who sent you the letter." She said, "In summertime, I was raped by my boyfriend Mitch in my bedroom." And it was the cheerleader, the captain of the cheer squad. Apparently in the beginning of the movie, her and Mitchell were dating, but everybody made it seem like, they broke up. So they said Mitchell broke up with her or whatever, and next thing you know, she was the one that was voted the most bangable. And what made it worse, Mitchell raped her in her bedroom during the summer, and then he put on the thing that she was most bangable. That junk really, and I started crying really bad because I'm sitting here like, that's very fucked up, and by your boyfriend too. That was the most fucked up shit ever. But then Mitchell, oh my god, he finally got what he deserved, because the principal felt bad, but then she walked in the room and said, "Mitchell, come with me." Dude was gone. I was so fucking happy when the movie ended like that. Then Vivian's mom came and said, "So this is what you've been working on. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself. None of the girls got in trouble. Nobody got expelled or suspended. Thank you, God, for the principal, because I thought she was going to be a bitch and say something to Vivian." Then Claudia surprised Vivian coming to the school saying, "I'm always here with you. I saw your speech live on Facebook and Instagram. I'm here for Moxie." And it was so mesmerizing. And then the whole movie ended so freaking good. At a dance, it was a whole Moxie themed dance, wearing little costumes and glitter dresses, glitter on your face. It was so unique and I loved it. So basically, after watching this movie, I felt a lot of emotion. I felt pissed. I felt a lot of my blood pressure was gonna go up. I cried twice. Like, it was a lot, but it was a very good movie. Now, I don't know if they'll make a Moxie 2. I hope they do, or a Moxie, TV show, because I think this movie would actually be good for a TV show, to be honest, because you can have different types of Moxie, comics on each episode, or every 3 episodes a different comic. It was so good. But for anybody who has watched it, I hope you guys feel the same way with how I feel, and also post in the comments on what you guys think Moxie should do. Also, if you're a person that hasn't seen Moxie before, I suggest that you go and watch it. If you are a person who hasn't seen Moxie, and you're watching this, I feel bad because I technically spoiled it for you. But, if you didn't watch the full video, I suggest that you watch the movie, you come back and, rewind and watch all of this. I feel like I should have said this in the beginning, but, still, I just want to let you guys know, it sounds different now, but if you watch the movie, it's worth it. It is really worth it. It had me in so much emotion. I'm not going to lie. Like, different emotions change. But I'm going to go ahead and end the video right there, you guys, because remember what I told you guys, I'm going to try to do 1 or 2 videos a night, and I'm just going to end it right there because I just got off from work. I just wanted to go ahead and do this little video for you guys and, go ahead and get myself comfortable for today. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you can get notifications for my next video. Also, stay tuned because I want you guys to go in the description, click on my Linktree, or go to my CashApp, send me $1 or more to, to help support me. Click on my Linktree and you'll see the links to all my social medias and my sponsorships so so you can go ahead and stay tuned for all my other things and, you know, stuff like that. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Bye.